Hello, Geminis. This is your March reading for 2022. And so the top row is kind of the month's overall feel. And then these cards here are going to represent like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Now, obviously, tarot kind of blends together sometimes. So it's not like, okay, well, if you're on a Sunday to Sunday schedule or Monday to Sunday or whatever, Sunday to what was that be? Sunday to Saturday schedule or Monday to Sunday. It doesn't always work like that. Things bleed together, but this is over the overall, the gist-ish, the feel of that. And then I have a million Oracle card decks that we can get into as well. So let's get started. So your first overall monthly feel is the Seven of Cups. And this is about, this can be about being a daydreamer. You could be daydreaming a lot, thinking about different ideas you have, like either it could be business or just opportunities. It could represent kind of thinking about things, but maybe not necessarily putting the action forth for them, but you're taking into consideration many different opportunities and you're spending time thinking about what they are and what they could do, but you're not actually putting that action out into doing it quite yet. But it also can indicate that there's many different opportunities available for you and you are you're weighing your options for each one. It could be difficult to decide what is the best choice. And this could suggest that you might need to narrow it down. You might need to focus your energies on one or two versus multiple things. But examine the different opportunities to make the right decisions. So you got a lot of stuff going on in your brain right now. So let's see. So then we have the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. I always forget that this deck, depending, because if I read it like this, it's a six, but you're supposed to read it, it goes outwards. And I always forget every time I see the sixes and the nines in this deck. I always forget that. Yeah, so the Nine of Pentacles. Accomplishments we have earned through investment of our own hard work. This is about like being like very independent. You have experienced success due to your own efforts, personal achievement, material gain. This is about being also patient to get to that level of success. Like you've kind of gone through the trenches, but you've managed to get to where you're going. By staying the course and doing what you need to do, even like the things that are not super great or fun, you kind of like you've managed to stay that course and stay on that path. So then you have the Fool, which is all about beginning a new journey, new beginnings, spontaneity, taking an unconventional approach to things. It could be about innocence as well, because the Fool, he's like starting out. He doesn't really know, but he's starting out. And he's like, you know what? This is going to be great. He has no idea that there's going to be bumps in the road and mountains he's going to have to climb. But he's like, oh, it's going to be fine. But it's all about having that fresh energy. So, taking a chance on something, energy and enthusiasm. You're excited about a new adventure, taking a risk, being a free spirit. And just being like spontaneity, like having the spontaneity of things like day to day, like you're just having fun, youthful energy and being young at heart. So that's all what the Fool kind of represents. So let's get into the weeks now. So I feel like that's like, obviously the kind of the higher feeling of the month. So now for week 1, we have the Three of Cups. And this is about celebration, community, parties, get together, being social, hanging out with friends or family, and enjoying yourself, like having a good time, socializing, having some fun. So that's really nice. So then we kind of get to week 2, and this is the Five of Cups. And this is about emotional losses or being disappointed in something, being upset. It could be like indicating like maybe certain relationships didn't work out. So breakdown in relationships or friendships. You might feel a little depressed. Cups are about emotions. So this is all about you kind of like unfortunately you went from like having a high, you're having a good time, to now like maybe something happened that you're feeling a little down on your luck, you're feeling a little sad. So it could be like, emotional setbacks and feeling losses. But this card represents, you're feeling these things and you're upset about what, maybe you're focusing on what you don't have, but you have so much more. Like this card symbolizes like if you turn around, like you have so much more. You have a lot of other good things going on for you. So it's kind of like, don't forget what you have good going. Not everything's perfect all the time, unfortunately. But this card is just kind of reminding you, like, yeah, you might be focused on like what's not happening or what's not really going well, but you have more actually going right for you than you don't. So this is what that card is about. So now week 3, we have the Queen of Cups. You got a lot of emotion stuff happening here because you got cups, and cups. I just realized that. So yeah, you got a lot of stuff. This is more of a kind of emotions for you this month. So here we have what we got here. Queen of Cups, and she's kind of an empath. She has that kind of empathic energy, intuition. It's all about trusting your intuition, and she's emotional, she's sensitive, she's caring, compassionate, and she's like aware of others, and she's like aware and respective to other people's needs. So it also can say you need to reflect on your emotions and trust your intuition. So I'm wondering, because you have like a lot of emotional stuff going on here, this might be saying that you need to kind of reevaluate what's happening for you emotionally, and you reflect on that, because sometimes like something might be going on with whatever's happening week 2. It's probably still dragging you down. Week 3, it's still coming for you. It's still dragging you down. So you need to reevaluate this situation, and you need to probably remember you have more good going for you than what's not. So I think that's kind of it. And then we end the month with the Ace of Pentacles, and this is about financial opportunities. It's like a physical boost of some kind, like a bonus, like something monetary. Something's going to come kind of unexpected, like a gift or something. Something's going to manifest as an opportunity or something financial. But it's like the first step to success. Like it's going to help you out. So I feel kind of smushing everything together. What we got here? So we got the Cups. I feel like there's overall theme of the month is you have a lot of opportunities. You have things that you're thinking about. You're not really maybe quite taking action. I think by the end of the month, because you have the Fool, I think just because you're not taking action initially doesn't mean you're not actually going to take action. I think because sometimes things bleed together a little bit. So sometimes, like, I know with myself, when I get the Cups, the 7 of Cups, I get this a lot. And it's a lot of times I have a lot of ideas and things that, I want to try something, but I get in my head and I have to figure things out mentally first. Sometimes I have to, before I try something, I have to figure out some of the steps and the details. So I don't always take action initially. And sometimes I'll have different ideas in my brain going at the same time, and I'm evaluating things. But eventually, I do take actions on the things that I think will work or I want to try out, obviously. So I think you're in a phase where you're figuring things out. You have something going on, you're trying to figure it out. And you might not be initially taking action, but you will be taking action in something. You just have to like figure out what is the best accomplishment. And this is through your hard work. I feel like because this is independent and it's about successes and achieving something through your work. So I feel like you will definitely be going on a new journey and you're going to be achieving the success that you want. But obviously there's always bumps in the road. So I think that's really, really good. So I think that's great. And maybe like through whatever you're deciding, you're going to be putting some work into it, and then that's going to start the new journey of actually doing it. Because sometimes, and then through, you'll have the success that you need to go long term. But within the week's breakdown, I think, you could be excited about something. You're starting something new. You're excited about something. Something's going on. And then maybe week 2, you hit the bump in the road. The bump comes, and emotionally you're a little upset. But I think week 3, you're realizing that, what, you need to look at the brighter side. You need to think about maybe sometimes it's about giving yourself a little caring and little like love. This could also be somebody else, you know, kind of a motherly figure, kind of being like, it's okay, okay, you'll be fine. So I think you're going to kind of have a little bit of a nurturing week where you need a little bit more nurturing yourself. And then at the end of the month, I think you're going to get that kind of that boost to kind of continue on the journey. You're going to get that little like, oh, I can do this or something. So let's see what your oracle cards have to say for you guys. So let's see. I got like a million ones here. Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to see, because sometimes I love the tarot and the oracles because I feel like you go on a journey. It's like totally a journey. Sometimes I feel like certain things are telling you like a certain kind of way or telling me a certain kind of way, and then I go on this journey and then you wind up like, I'm like, oh wow. So yeah, so I just want to play with my cards, okay? Don't judge me. I just want to play with my cards. So anyway, so this one is the Illuminated Tarot, and this deck actually is done like what is this? The clubs? That's a club, right? So this is kind of like a tarot, but it's kind of like in the theme of like the playing card style. So okay, so let's get one card for my Geminis. One card. Oh, this one jumped out. So you got 7 of Hearts. So let's see what 7 of Hearts is. And this is another cup. Look at this. This is a cups here. Man, you got a lot of emotional stuff, guys, going on. And it's so funny because you got the hearts here, and it's funny in this deck, actually, there's a lot of hearts. Like, so this has a heart on it. This has a heart. This has a heart. This has a heart, because that's all like emotions and stuff. So I think that you might need just give yourself some caring. If things are not quite going 100% correctly in the beginning of the month, just don't be too hard on yourself. I feel like you need some extra love. So give yourself some caring. So let's see what this 7 of Hearts has to say for you. Okay, 7 of Hearts. Okay, secrets, imaginations, and new feelings. Ooh, new feelings, huh? See, this could be, I'm wondering, because this is about secrets, imagination, new feelings. So I'm wondering, this really goes with the 7 of Cups, because this is actually what the 7 of Cups is. So I think in this deck, it actually correlates with the 7 of Cups. Because in the 7 of Cups, he has like the cups are all filled with different options and things. And that's exactly, so you got both 7s. Look at that. You got the same card twice. So I definitely think that you have a lot of options. And I wonder if some of these options, you know how they say all that glitters is not gold? Now that we're getting into this, let's get into this. I got to put the book down. We're going to have to roll up these sleeves a second. You know how they say all that glitters is not gold? So I'm wondering if some of these options that you have, maybe they look really shiny and pretty and like, oh, look at that. It's so sparkly. But when you get into week 2, you're like, oh, uh-huh. I see. So I'm thinking, I feel like this is saying that you need to really evaluate these options, okay? Because maybe something is not what it seems, because this is about secrets and so that's what, because these two are exactly, this is why I love tarot and oracle cards, because it's like they give you the messages. They're trying to tell you something. Sometimes I don't want to hear it. Sometimes like, no, I don't want to hear that tarot card or oracle deck. I don't want to hear that. But it's like, they're always right. So I think something, you might not fully see the full picture of something, but I think by the end of the month, it's going to become more clearer to you. That's what I'm seeing with this. So whatever options you have, you might need to look at them a little bit more closely. So, okay. So let's see. Okay, so let us continue. Okay, so you know what? Next up, I'm going to do your daily crystal. Let's see what crystal you guys get for March. Okay, Gemini for March. Ooh, this one, let me see. Hold on a second here. Okay, hold on. So this one came out for you guys. It fell on the floor. So this is Carnelian. It says feed your creativity. So I feel like this is going, because with the whole new beginnings and this whole like creativity and intuition feel, I feel like that's really saying that, you know, you got to feed your creativity. I think you guys have like a creative project that you're kind of And when I say creative project, creativity is different for everybody. Some people are like artists. Some people, their creativity comes from art. But if you think even like computer programmers, that's a different, developing a new app or something, that's like a creative endeavor, but it's a creative in a different kind of aspect. So we all have creativity. So if somebody's saying being creative, it's creative in your own way, how your being is creative. So I think that whatever's going on with this thing, you need to feed your creativity. But I think within that, it's saying just watch what's happening. Watch what's happening. Okay, so let's do. Now I'm going to do your energy oracle. Let's see what the energy oracle has for Geminis for March. Okay, so fourth chakra. Archangel Raphael. So let's find out what Raphael has to say for you guys. Let's find out. Okay. Number 38. 38. Where are we? 37, 38. Okay. Oh my God. You guys, man, you guys are getting love. Love, 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 love. Love and compassion. All month. I think that's going to be, it's going to be kind of, it's going to, that's, I think that's what you guys need to keep in mind or focus on, even if it's for yourself. It could be for somebody else. You might have to be that strong, compassionate person for somebody else, but I think it's like you might need to have it for yourself. So let's go from here. This says love, compassion, and self-acceptance. Okay. Let's see. This card upright indicates that you now have a greater readiness to receive love from others as well as from yourself. See, I think that's what I feel like it's saying. It's like love yourself, Geminis. You got to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, who else is going to really love you? You got to love yourself, you know? So, okay, it could also indicate that a much needed healing from a previous broken heart is taking place. And I feel like that could be with the week too, with what the Five of Cups. Because if you're social, maybe some funny business went down, you know, sometimes things happen, you know, having a little too much fun. So maybe there's a little bit of a broken heart. It could be in anything. You could have a broken heart from not getting a good sale at a, you know, on Amazon, like the lightning deal expired before you managed to get it or something. Like you have it could be anything. Some people, it could work however it works for you. So, but I think this is saying that you need to heal. But I think week 3 with this Queen of Cups, I think you're getting that healing. So yeah. Okay. So let me see what else does it say. Anything else that I gotta. Okay, know that as you do, the light from your heart center will shine with an irresistible beauty, and the universe will send people and situations that cause your sense of love and support to grow and grow. So that's really nice. So this is all about, you got to love yourself, and just be in that energy of like love. So, okay, so now I'm going to do your chakra. This is your chakra wisdom oracle guidebook. So let's see. I'm just screwing it. But this one came out right away. So I feel like maybe this is trying to say instinct. Okay, so I think this is trying to say something to you guys. So instinct, because it jumped out right away. I feel like when they do that, they like really want to say. Sometimes I shuffle and nothing happens. And I'm like, why aren't you guys doing anything? But I think when they come out right away, that means they want to talk to you. They have something they got to say to you. So, okay, so instinct here. So this is the wolf of the white light. It says, to step into the light, we let go of all senses other than our pure instinct. When unfiltered, it guides us to the high ground and help of our angels. This is the time to be the protector or protected. You will know which role you are in. And I think that's very interesting because that can go with the Queen of Cups. Because you might need to be for somebody, you might need to have like that kind of like motherling. But I feel like the instinct to me is kind of saying that you're going to figure out as far as like the decisions that you need to make with the opportunities or what's going on with the Seven of Cups. So yeah, let's see in the little thing if it has a little bit more here. Let's see. Yeah, it's about being like, trusting your instinct, and and just tuning into that. So yeah, so that's definitely good. Okay, so where am I now? Okay, so let's do your Halloween oracle. Let's see what message the Halloween oracle has for you guys. So, okay, one card for my Geminis for March, please. One card for my Geminis. One card for the Geminis. This doesn't, what, you don't want to talk to me today. Come on. Okay, we got it. Ooh. Ooh, you got the underworld where all things pause and begin again. Ooh, dun dun dun. Okay, let's see. Oh, it has a pomegranate too. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so let's go see what the underworld has to say for you. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so it's about talking about how cultures, different cultures have, many cultures have the concept of like the underworld. And within those cultures where most of it differs is how they perceive it. So it's saying whether the underworld is seen as a place of rest and rejuvenation or horror and punishment. So, okay, so let me... And then other places see it as a place of joy and peace, depending on, how you perceive it. So, let's see. Okay, here we go. Should the Underworld card be present in your readings, you are being asked to consider exactly what you have to do to transform your life into something you find easier or more authentic to you. This may involve changing course. It may involve trials and tests. Keep moving. Whilst things may fall away, your life may appear bare for a time, this is temporary. Space is being made into which you can create new. And I feel like that really goes with what's happening here. So I think that within this and this reevaluating, because you got reevaluating here. Where did you get the reevaluating? Hold on a second here. Sometimes I have to make notes because I get into my brain... Like reflecting, here's the thing. This is what I want to say. So this one's about reflecting on your emotions. So I feel like with sometimes, obviously reflecting on emotions is reevaluating. So I think that what's going on here, you might need, by week 3, you might need to take a pause and kind of figure out this to kind of go forward. So I definitely think this is good. So, and sometimes when you because if you're dealing with like a loss or heartbreak in a sense, you need a minute. So you might need a minute to kind of I don't want to say get over it real quick. Build that bridge, Gemini. Get over it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it like that for you guys. But you might just need a second to kind of... Because this card, traditionally, he's looking at... What is it? The 2 cups that are lost, but there's 3 of them behind him, and he's not focusing on the good stuff. But I think this is trying to say, like, listen, you got to reevaluate. Take a moment, reevaluate, focus on the good stuff because you have more good for you than you have bad. So I feel like that's what that's saying. Okay, so let me get now. Okay, Geminis. Okay, I mentioned this to the other groups, and I'm gonna have to tell everybody because this is my Dark Mirrors Oracle deck. Now I really like this deck, but a little disclaimer, this deck, I love the imagery. It's creepy, it's dark, it's so right up my alley. The book, I think, is really designed, the descriptions and everything, I think they're very designed for somebody that's a little bit more creative in a sense, but some people are like their brain, it runs through like this like creative, artistic realm of like abstract thinking. I'm not really an abstract thinker. I'm a little bit more literal. I'm a little bit more, a little bit different. So for my brain, this book is actually very challenging for me to kind of interpret, but I think I've been doing okay for a sense. So like, I'm just letting you guys know, if any of you have this book at home and I'm saying something and you're like, no, that's not what the book says, I don't understand what the book is telling me. No, I'm just joking. I understand it to a degree, but I think I like to think I get the gist. But sometimes, tarot and oracle, sometimes it's kind of like how you perceive stuff as well. So let's go on this journey now, because this is a negative type of deck in a sense. So this is kind of what I would say the overall feel of the month, what might be hindering you or blocking you, or what might be the issue or something that you need to consider. So let's get started, Geminis. Okay, one card for Geminis for March, please. One card for my Geminis for March. One card for my Geminis. Okay. Here we go. Oh, you got bird in a cage. Ooh, so let's see what that says for you guys. Okay. So let's see, bird in a cage. So this book or this deck kind of deals with, like, I think the 5 stages of grief. So this is the stage of denial. Okay. So basically it says, did we die waiting for the perfect day, or were we never alive? Ooh. Okay, so let me just kind of skim. Okay, I actually understand what this card is saying. Some of them I have no idea. I'm not going to lie. Okay, it says, when we put the good of our life just in our expectations, we can dismiss the present. Waiting for the dawn we will know will arrive. We know will arrive. The future becomes a shopping cart. It needs a bit of this and a bit of that. Okay, so this is saying, from what I can gather, I think I can understand this a little bit more. I know some of you have this deck and you're like, are you crazy? I understand exactly what's going on. Well, so yeah, but me, it's a work in progress. Okay, so, but this is what I feel. I feel this is, because this is a stage of denial, right? So I think like the bird in the cage. So I think it's almost like you're kind of just constantly waiting for something. For instance, like this is a daydreamer, this card, the 7 of Cups, and considering you got 2 7 of Cups in a sense over here, this is about daydreaming and not quite taking action. So I think overall the issue might be with you is that you're kind of waiting. You're waiting for that perfect moment, that perfect day. And you might not be like, you might be denying to yourself that, like, you might be like, oh yeah, I'm going to wait till this. But in a sense, you're denying that the day probably will never come. Nothing's ever perfect. There's no really ever perfect time to start anything. So in a sense, you're like denying yourself of getting started because you keep waiting to start because something might not be 100% right quite yet. So I think, and with these 7s, because this could be about daydreaming and not really quite taking action. So I think that might be the obstacle that you have to overcome this month is you need to start. You need to take action. Whatever this is to you, the perfect time might never come, but take action. But within that taking action, I do think with these cups, you might have to definitely look at the opportunities, but definitely get started on something. Definitely get started, because by the end, I think through hard work, I think you're going to have a lot of success, and it's going to be a beginning of something new. And I think it's going to be the beginning of something that's really going to start, because this is about beginnings too. You know, like getting a boost to start on something. So I definitely think this is a very positive reading. I think you're going to be a little bit emotional. There's going to be a lot of emotional stuff you're dealing with. So yeah, so I feel like that's saying the perfect day will never come. Stop denying that, denying yourself of getting started in that energy. So let me see, where am I at with all my tarot hoard over here? Okay, so let's do your little fortune cookie. Okay, fortune cookie for my Geminis. Okay, we have, reflection. Friendships in your life may come to an end. Oh my God, Gemini. Ooh, okay. Okay, let's be serious here. Reflection. Friendships in your life may come to an end. Others could blossom and become stronger. Okay, let's call it for what it is, Gemini. We got to move some of these cards around over here. Okay. This one, to me, this is kind of going with this in a sense. Like, you might be socializing. There could be some kind of social things, and something might happen. Maybe you find out, because this was about secrets too. Maybe there's some little bit of secret, a little bit of, you know, something that you find out that you're not overly thrilled with, and it could be potentially kind of like, yeah, something. It might affect a friendship or something, or this could, even with the reflection, I feel, because this is reflecting on emotions as well. So you kind of have the theme of reflection here a few times. So I feel like you might need to, even this could be emotions. Our friendships are tied to our emotions. You know, that's what friends are. They make you happy. They make you sad. It's very tied to the emotions. So maybe there's something going on with a friend or a person or a colleague or something, and you might need to reflect on it. You might need to make changes on it. Something might have to be with that, because you got a lot of emotions and you kind of have this social thing going on here too. So, and the bird in the cage really also could represent like friendships, because I think sometimes we think, oh, you know, we give people passes occasionally, like, well, you know, this person, they did this time, but maybe next time it'll be better. You know, like we kind of do that. Like I know I do that sometimes. So this could be like you're just waiting for it to ever get better. If this is about a relationship, you might be waiting and you're not actually you're just stuck in that cage. You've imprisoned yourself because you're waiting for something that just never is going to change. The person's not going to change. So you're like, that what could be with that too. So we're going to do your love oracles for those that are interested in love, or have loving relationships, because obviously not everybody's kind of, you know, everybody's in a different place with their life. So for those that are kind of curious about love or in a relationship or something, let's pull a few things of that. So, okay, let's do that for my Geminis. Love for my Geminis. Okay. Ooh, you got codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Now, addictions don't necessarily need to be drug and alcohol. It could just be something that, because a lot of times addictions, it's something that you're kind of like, it's like an avoiding mechanism to a certain degree. Like if you're like watching too much Netflix or something and not actually getting anything else done. So this could definitely be interesting. I wonder if there's something going on, because you got a lot of like, kind of like a social thing. Because codependency in a sense is like, it's more than just you. Like here is like an independent energy, but maybe somebody's like being a little bit dependent on you. Because you got a lot of like kind of like a social thing happening here. So yeah, so there might be a little bit, this could be a little bit with this problem here too. A little codependent issues going on. So let's see. Okay, now let's do your romance oracle deck. Let's see what they have to say for you, my Geminis. Oh, it jumped out. Okay. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your social and okay, yeah, your social, yeah, you take your social media with you, Gemini, when you die. It's a good thing you got Facebook. Okay, no. Let me read this again. Sorry, Gemini, sorry. Okay, here we go. Take 2. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. So that's interesting, because you also have the underworld here. So in the underworld, you know, when you die, some of you, if you believe or whatever you believe, it's in a sense like kind of like the underworld theme. So that's interesting. That's definitely interesting. So yeah. Okay, so I think there's definitely, I think because in a sense this is like about, I always say this is kind of like reflecting on stuff. I think you're going to have to do a lot of reflecting. I think there's some relationships that you might have to I don't want to say reconsider, because sometimes things are not all bad. It's not like, okay, we're just going to burn it down and throw it in the garbage. But sometimes things need to kind of change. I think there's like you got a lot of emotional stuff happening. You got a lot of emotional stuff, Gemini, in March. Get prepared. Okay, so, but you know what? We're going to find out an inspirational quote. I love inspirational quotes. So we're going to find out what's your inspirational quote. Inspiration for my Geminis for March, please. One card. Inspiration from my Geminis. Wait, hold on a second. I screwed everything up. Okay, one card for my Geminis. one. Okay, we got... Ooh, failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. So I feel like this card belongs right between here and here, because I feel like you're going to have a little bit of a setback, but just remember, failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor, because I believe by the end of the month, you're going to have a good opportunity. Something's going to start for you, but I think you got to nurture yourself, or maybe this is like somebody kind of giving you nurturing energy, but don't worry. Everybody has setbacks. You can pick yourself up. You can get through it. It's going to be okay. So let's find out what spirit of the dish shall be with you. And oh, yeah, I totally forgot. Think of a question for the Magic 8 Ball. We shall ask a question for the Magic 8 Ball for the month of March for you guys. Okay, so what spirit of the dish? Oh, this one came out right away. You got the Queen of Sweets. So you got a little, like... cake. Okay, you got the spirit of the cake. And honestly, it's so fitting. It's so fitting because I feel like you have a lot of emotional stuff happening here, so you might want to indulge in like a little cake. Sometimes I know cake for me is like, it's just kind of like that comfort food. It's just like that. You just want a piece of cake. So yeah, you might have like a little cake. You know, or this could even be going if you're having parties. Maybe there's cake at the party at the beginning of the month, but maybe you just need to give yourself a little cake, a little something that you enjoy, a little treat. So let's figure out what your numbers and letters are. Okay. Let's see where we are here. So we got M, O, C, I, D, C, H, and T. Okay, and then we have 8 and 5. So there you go, 8 and 5. Okay, now let's see what stone wants to come out for you. What your little stone message for the month of March for my Geminis. Ooh, you got passion. Oh. And if you think passion is like a very emotional feeling, obviously. So, yeah, I think you're starting something new. And obviously, you got something about starting a new passion project. Where was it? I know there was something in here. Feed your creativity. So creativity, I think, goes hand in hand with passion as well. So that's exciting. Okay. Okay, so let's ask. So, here we are. Think of your question, Gemini. Think of your question. Oh, magical 8 ball. Mystical magical balls of all the balls. The mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Gemini's March 2022 question? It says, ask again later. So it said ask again later. Okay, Gemini, I'm sorry. It doesn't know. Maybe... it's feeling all the emotional stuff that you're going, and it's just like, it's like having a moment. It's like, no, all these emotions that happening for March. I can't answer this question right now. I think that's what's happening in the 8 ball. It's just feeling all this extra emotions. So yeah, Gemini, just remember, take care of yourself. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, but you got to just take care of yourself. I don't think it's going to be a bad month, but I just think it's going to be like kind of like an emotional thing. But sometimes you got to clear out certain emotions to really start forward and kind of propel yourself, you know. But yeah, so okay, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have a wonderful month. Okay, bye.